Your Country 1039 KGRT, Kenny Chesney. Don't blink. Oh, it goes by real fast.
Time now for your question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Markets of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, bread, meat, honey, food trucks, handmade art, music, and more. Every Saturday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Las Cruces.
That's right. Your question of the day brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, meat, bread. Okay, lots of good food. That's what it comes down to. And lots of good different handmade art stuff. Music is always playing. It's a great time on a Saturday or Wednesday morning downtown. Make sure to check them out. Now, let's talk about dating and the fact that there was this new survey done by Ripple Research that says a lot of people are ditching alcohol on the first date. Yeah, so those times with like, hey, let's meet for drinks, let's do this or something else like that. Yeah, it's not happening. 46% of people are saying no alcohol on the first date. So what are they doing instead? Well, 44% of Gen Zers prefer meeting for dinner or lunch on a first date. That's a good one. 25% of singles opt for a drink as their typical first date activity. So that's 25%. That's a low number. 23% of singles are choosing to go to the movies on a first date. Okay. And 1 in 4 Gen Zers prefers exercise as a first date option. So I don't know. If you're not going to be going for drinks on a first date, what are you going to be doing? I wonder. So my question for you today, what do you think is a good first date option? You know, I always traditionally would opt for the, go out to the movies on a first date, but it's pretty interesting. The last few times I tried that, yeah, you went out and watched the movie and then there wasn't much discussion or stuff during the movie, obviously. And then afterward, it's like, oh, well, it's okay. So I'm kind of not into maybe going to movies on a first date unless maybe, a little more movies at home type of thing. Maybe that would be a good one for the opportunity for conversation, because that's what you want on a first date, right? Conversation, get to know the person, figure out if this thing's going to be good or not, or work out, or just totally get you into the friend zone. It happens. It really does. But what do you think is a good first date? Maybe dinner conversation like that. That would be really good. Perhaps some coffee, going out on a coffee date. Hey, you want to meet for coffee, at some point in time? Because everybody loves a good coffee date, right? But what do you think? What do you think is a good first date option? Asking for a friend, right? Yeah, go ahead and let me know your answers. You can call them in. You can text them in at 575-523-KGRT. That's 575-523-5478. Of course, you can also leave your comments down below, because we are live on our social media pages. Already got a text in. And meet for coffee is one of the options right there. Coffee is, good. Everybody gets wired on caffeine, and maybe you share too much. I don't know, maybe. But let me know your answers for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. All right, we are exclusively up on our social media pages now. So, what would be a good first date? Is it an exercise thing? Would you go, back in the day when I was there, roller skating was an option. That counts as a physical activity, right? Definitely getting out. Or even, because I am a Gen Xer, going to the mall, meeting up at the mall would have been a good first date. But back then there were so many other different options that you have, and they're still out there right now. It's just, I don't know if a lot of the younger generation would go for that. But if I would say, if there was an activity that both of you enjoyed, believe it or not, I think a couple of my friends actually opt for doing stuff like a game night, or believe it or not, a D&D night. Yeah. That apparently is working these days. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one, sir. Let's just say it does involve Netflixing and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's an option. It's an option right there. I mean, that is definitely an option these days. But I had to look closely at that comment on whether or not I was going to put it up here. But Yeah, Netflix, and it's an option. It is definitely an option. I don't know about the first date, but it is an option. But let me know your answers. Once again, call them in or text them in 575-523-KGRT. That's 575-523-5478. And of course, leave your comments down below. What do you think is a good first date option? Let me know your answers. And in the meantime, let's see what's going on in and around the world. Fans are shelling out $20,000 a ticket for tonight's college football national championship game between Miami and Indiana. In fact, nosebleed seats are going for over $4,000. A little bit too steep for me right there. Let's see. A cheetah at the Miami Zoo was asked to pick the winner for tonight's college football championship game. Winston the cheetah, good name for a cheetah, chose the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah, sniffing out food underneath both teams' helmets. Zoo officials captured the moment on video, and fans cheered him on. So go figure that, the hometown cheetah would pick the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah. Also, after a decade, Dos Equis is bringing back their iconic character, the most interesting man in the world. And wouldn't you know it, they're doing it tonight. New commercials will air during the college football national championship game. Is it really bad of me that I would be more interested in seeing the most interesting man in the world than actually watching the game? I don't know. Am I a bad sports fan for that? I don't know. Maybe I am. Hollywood box office for this past weekend. Avatar: Fire and Ash still number one at the box office, followed by 28 years later, The Bone Temple. I had no idea that this was actually getting released this soon after 28 years later. So I'm a big fan of that franchise. I'm a horror movie fan, I guess you could say, but I'm definitely interested in getting out to see that. Zootopia 2, The Housemaid, and Marty Supreme rounded out the top 5 movies at the box office. And I guess it's that time of year again, and it's going to get chilly, that Florida officials have issued their falling iguana warning. You know, this kind of happens every year, every other year when it gets cold enough in Florida that the iguanas are falling from the trees, basically because it gets so cold that they kind of go into this like semi-slumber type of sleep thing. And of course, they fall out of the trees because they're not holding on to that. So if you live in Florida, watch out for falling iguanas. Don't worry. They're not, unalived in any way. They're just kind of doing that. It's cold. I don't want to move thing. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Once again, my friends, we are looking for answers for our question of the day. A new survey by Ripple Research said that 46% of people are ditching alcohol on the first date. So no alcohol on the first date, but what are they doing? What do you think would be a good first date option? Already had the coffee shop. Let's meet up for coffee sometime. Come down for a movie and let's relax. We'll put it that way. It's an option, like I said. And now we are the bots are alive on YouTube for sure. I'm just getting random blurbs. That really seems weird. But go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day. What do you think is a good first date option? Do you go old school? Are you doing something new like rock climbing? Let's go for a run at the gym. Not doing that one. Not doing that one. Not me. But yeah, what do you think is a good option for a first date? That is our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces.